The Dallas Cowboys opened their practice week with a lengthy injury report, as preparations began for the matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers. Several key contributors appeared on the report Wednesday, raising questions about availability moving forward. Health once again becomes a central storyline. At a critical point of the season, defensive tackle Quinnen Williams remains in concussion protocol. He suffered the injury in Sunday night's loss to the Vikings. Williams has not yet cleared the league's mandated steps, and his status remains uncertain. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer addressed the situation, emphasizing patience in the process. Fullback Hunter Luepke is in a similar position. He also entered concussion protocol after the Vikings game. Both players are being monitored closely. Their progress will dictate roster decisions. Timing remains fluid, and evaluations are ongoing. Adding to the report was wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. Lamb missed practice earlier in the week due to illness. His absence drew immediate attention, given his importance to the offense. The situation is being tracked daily, with cautious optimism. Cornerback DaRon Bland also appeared on the report. He is listed with a foot issue. The severity of the injury remains unclear, and further evaluation is expected. Bland's status is now one to watch, as Dallas navigates the final stretch. Overall, the injury report reflects uncertainty. Several starters are in varying stages of recovery. Practice participation will be telling. As the week progresses, Dallas must balance urgency with caution ahead of Sunday's challenge. Concussion protocol and coaching caution. Brian Schottenheimer addressed the injury situation on Monday. He confirmed that both Williams and Luepke remain in protocol. Concussion recovery timelines can vary significantly, and no firm return date was given. The Cowboys are taking a measured approach, prioritizing player safety. When asked if either could return this week, Schottenheimer was realistic. He said answers would come in the next few days. Progress will determine availability, not expectations or external pressure. These things are different, Schottenheimer explained. He referenced recent examples from within the team, including how quickly situations can change. Health evaluations evolve daily, and outcomes are never guaranteed, even late in the week. The head coach pointed specifically to CeeDee Lamb, highlighting how unexpected improvements can occur. One day a player is unavailable. The next, he's practicing. That unpredictability shapes planning and lineup decisions. This cautious stance extends across the roster. Medical staff and coaches communicate closely. Clearance requires meeting every protocol step. There are no shortcuts, especially with head injuries. The league standard is strict. For Dallas, patience is essential. Rushing players back creates risk, both short-term and long-term. The Cowboys understand the stakes and will wait for clarity before making final calls. Cornerback depth under the microscope. DaRon Bland's foot issue adds complexity. The Cowboys' cornerback depth is already thin, with Trayvon Diggs on injured reserve and Josh Butler also sidelined. Any additional absence magnifies concern. At a crucial defensive position, the severity of Bland's injury remains unknown. Further testing is expected, and practice participation will provide clues. If he misses time, Dallas will need alternatives. Quickly, two potential options exist. Both Diggs and Butler are currently on IR, and both have publicly stated they feel ready to return to action. Their practice work will be evaluated. Throughout the week, Diggs continues rehabbing his knee. He returned to practice days ago, but the team opted against activating him. For the Vikings matchup, more time was deemed necessary. Despite Diggs' confidence, Josh Butler is in a similar position. He has expressed readiness. After a long recovery process, the Cowboys are monitoring his progress and weighing long-term health against immediate need. The cornerback situation is fluid. Decisions will depend on Bland's status and how Diggs and Butler respond in practice. Roster moves may be required before Sunday, as Dallas prepares for the Chargers. Tyler Guyton and the offensive line. Left tackle Tyler Guyton remains sidelined. The rookie continues to recover from an ankle injury that has cost him multiple games, including the recent contest against Minnesota. His absence has been felt. Along the offensive line, Schottenheimer noted that Guyton had a good day Monday, but cautioned against optimism. Ankle injuries are tricky, especially for large offensive linemen. Weight, leverage, and mobility are factors that complicate recovery. Guyton has yet to return to practice and remains ruled out for now. The next few days will be telling. but expectations are guarded. Dallas cannot afford setbacks. At a premium position, the Cowboys struggled in pass protection recently. Guyton's return would provide stability, but only if fully healthy. The coaching staff is cautious, avoiding unnecessary risk. In December football, Jerry Jones has expressed optimism publicly, suggesting Guyton could return soon. But final decisions rest with medical staff. Practice participation remains the key indicator. Until then, his status remains uncertain. As preparation continues, Dallas must plan with flexibility. Offensive line combinations may change, depending on availability. Guyton's recovery is a storyline to watch. As the week unfolds, Jadeveon Clowney is officially back for the Cowboys. The veteran pass rusher returned after missing time. A hamstring injury sidelined him against the Lions, limiting his availability in a critical stretch. His absence was noticeable on the edge, and his return brings relief. Clowney initially returned to practice in a limited role. The team carefully managed his workload, monitoring response and conditioning. Each day brought incremental progress, until he was cleared fully to resume full participation. By the end of the week, Clowney received the green light and was available against the Vikings. His presence added experience and physicality to the pass rush. At a needed moment, hamstring injuries require caution. Explosiveness can be compromised if rushed too quickly. The Cowboys opted for patience, allowing Clowney proper recovery before returning him to game action. Clowney's return strengthens the rotation, especially with other defensive uncertainties. His leadership remains valuable in high-pressure situations. As the season winds down, Dallas welcomes his presence. With Clowney active, the Cowboys gain flexibility up front. Snap counts can be managed, pressure packages expand, and the defense benefits from veteran stability. Diggs' return delayed again. Trayvon Diggs remains on injured reserve and will wait at least another week before a potential return. The All-Pro cornerback continues rehabbing a knee injury that has kept him sidelined longer than initially hoped. Diggs returned to practice days ago, ahead of the Lions matchup, signaling progress in his recovery. However, the Cowboys opted for caution, choosing not to activate him against the Vikings. Despite Diggs stating he feels ready, the coaching staff disagrees. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer believes more time is necessary before exposing Diggs to game speed and contact. Returning too soon carries risk, especially for a player of Diggs' importance. The Cowboys are focused on long-term health, not short-term availability. December football demands patience and discipline. Another decision looms soon. When the Chargers arrive at AT&T Stadium, Dallas must determine whether to activate Diggs before the 21-day window closes. Time is limited, and choices matter. For now, Diggs remains in rehab, working toward full clearance. The Cowboys continue evaluating practice reps and recovery response before making a final call. On his return, offensive injuries and question marks. Tight end Jake Ferguson remains a question mark. The veteran suffered a calf injury during Wednesday's practice session, which forced him to miss Thursday's workout, raising concern about availability. For Sunday night, Ferguson returned in a limited capacity Friday, offering cautious optimism. He worked through drills, but was clearly being monitored. The team listed him as questionable, alongside Jadeveon Clowney. During media viewing, Ferguson worked on resistance cords with Director of Rehabilitation Britt Brown, rather than full-speed reps, an indication of caution and workload management. The tight end position is critical, both in blocking and the passing game. Ferguson's health impacts game planning and personnel groupings. Dallas hopes for clearance, but will not force the issue. Hunter Luepke's status also remains fluid. He was upgraded to full participation later in the week, after earlier injury concerns, a positive sign for the offense. Depth at fullback matters in physical matchups. Overall, offensive health is mixed. Some players trending upward, others still uncertain. The Cowboys must adjust plans accordingly. As game day approaches, flexibility remains key. CeeDee Lamb's progress and optimism. CeeDee Lamb's situation continues to evolve. The All-Pro receiver remains in concussion protocol after a frightening moment in Detroit, where his head hit the turf, ending a strong performance early. Against the Lions, Lamb was immediately ruled out of that game, prompting concern across the organization. The incident looked serious, but progress since then has been encouraging. According to team officials and coaching staff, Lamb fully participated in Thursday's practice, a significant step forward, indicating progress through protocol. Barring unforeseen setbacks, he is trending toward availability. For Sunday night, Brian Schottenheimer provided reassurance, saying Lamb is doing good. He confirmed conversations with the receiver over the weekend, noting steady improvement and optimism. Jerry Jones echoed that sentiment publicly. Speaking on 105.3 The Fan, he emphasized Lamb's positive trajectory while acknowledging protocol requirements. The final clearance remains necessary before he can play. Lamb's potential return would be impactful. The Cowboys' offense relies heavily on him. His availability changes defensive game plans and opens opportunities for others. Dallas continues monitoring closely. As kickoff approaches, the Cowboys' practice participation offered mixed signals. Several players showed progress, while others remained sidelined. Wednesday's injury report was extensive, highlighting the physical toll of the season. At this late stage, CeeDee Lamb was initially listed as limited, along with Trayvon Diggs. Both appeared on the report early in the week. Their participation was monitored closely. Every rep mattered. As evaluations continued, Jake Ferguson also appeared as limited. The calf injury lingered. His workload was adjusted accordingly. Defensive end Jadeveon Clowney was limited as well, as was fullback Hunter Luepke, each working back cautiously. Safety Donovan Wilson was listed with a knee issue. Cornerback Siobhan Revel also appeared, adding to secondary concerns. The rehab group featured Tyler Guyton, who continued working with resistance cords under close supervision. Malik Hooker was the lone absence, missing practice for personal reasons, non-injury related. His status was not considered long-term, and expectations remained positive for his return. Overall, the practice report reflected management, not panic. The Cowboys are navigating carefully, balancing preparation and recovery, with roster health under constant evaluation. Ahead of Sunday night, special teams brilliance from Aubrey. Amid injury concerns, special teams delivered history. Brandon Aubrey had a record-setting night, becoming the first kicker in NFL history to hit 3 field goals of 55 yards or more in a single game, a remarkable achievement. Aubrey connected on 5 field goals overall, including a booming 63-yarder, the third longest of his career. He also drilled kicks from 55 and 57 yards, plus a crucial 29-yarder late, demonstrating consistency. The performance came during a difficult night for the Cowboys' special teams coverage units, but Aubrey's reliability stood out, providing points and stability in an otherwise uneven phase of the game. With the performance, Aubrey extended his record for most career 60-yard field goals, now sitting at 6. He also tied Harrison Butker for fastest to reach 100 made field goals at 47 games. Such consistency changes strategy. The Cowboys trust Aubrey from distance, altering fourth-down decisions and late-game management. His range is a weapon few teams possess. In a season marked by fluctuations, Aubrey remains a constant, providing confidence and production when margins are thin and points matter. Sam Williams makes his mark again. Sam Williams delivered another impact play. For the second time this season, the defender blocked a kick, this time a third-quarter field goal, giving Dallas favorable field position near midfield. Earlier this year, Williams blocked a punt against Arizona, which was recovered for a touchdown by Marshawn Kneeland. That play shifted momentum before the bye week. With this latest block, Williams reached a rare milestone, becoming the first Cowboy since Dorrance Armstrong in 2022 to block both a punt and a field goal in the same season. Since 2023, Dallas has blocked 6 kicks. Williams accounts for half of them, highlighting his instincts and timing. On special teams, his contributions often go unnoticed, but remain impactful. Special teams plays change games. Field position swings, momentum shifts, and confidence grows. Williams continues to deliver in critical moments. As injuries test depth elsewhere, such contributions gain importance. Every hidden yard matters. Every blocked kick counts. Williams provides value beyond the stat sheet. Dallas moves forward with uncertainty as the Cowboys prepare for the Chargers. Health remains the dominant storyline. Several key players are trending upward. Others remain uncertain. The next few days will be decisive. Across the roster, concussion protocol decisions loom. Williams and Lupke await clearance. Lamb's progress offers optimism, but final approval is required. The Cowboys remain cautious, with players' safety paramount. The secondary faces key decisions. Bland's foot injury is monitored. Diggs' return remains pending, and Butler's status is evaluated. Roster flexibility will be tested. Before kickoff, offensively, availability shapes planning. Guyton's recovery continues. Ferguson remains questionable. Adjustments are inevitable, but preparation continues regardless. Depth will be challenged. Special teams provide reassurance. Aubrey's consistency stands firm. Williams' impact adds value. Even amid broader uncertainty, these units offer stability when others fluctuate. Ultimately, Dallas moves forward, balancing optimism with caution, preparation with patience. As Sunday night approaches, decisions will crystallize, and the Cowboys will be ready.